Hey guys, Cecil here once again, back at you with another unboxing, and this time it's a pretty special one compared to even the Sonic Mania and the Switch Fight Stick one I did a couple of weeks back. Now, as you could probably tell by the screen capture as well as the what's sitting in front of you here, this is going to be an unboxing of the Mario Cross Rabbids Kingdom Battle Collector's Edition, as well as some of the vinyl figures that came along with the release of the game. Now, I'm not going to go into detail on Mario. I'm assuming everyone who watches my channel is very familiar with the Mario universe, but just for the few who might not be familiar with the Rabbids, they are basically Ubisoft's version of the Minions from the Despicable Me franchise, if you're familiar with those kind of yellow banana looking guys. They're kind of mutant Rabbids that are very silly, over-the-top, cartoony. And they really came popular. They first appeared in was Rayman Raving Rabbids on the Wii. It was kind of a mini game compilation, and they became so popular they didn't need to have Rayman included with it, which was, you know, for a long time Ubisoft's kind of core platforming series. And they've, in the last 10 plus years or so, they've been in a ton of games, from Kinect games to Wii games. They've had a couple of their own action-adventure games like the Rabbids Go Home, just a whole slew of titles, and they've dressed up as Ubisoft characters like from like Assassin's Creed and Watch Dogs and other stuff, but they've never been really outside of an Ubisoft property until now. Now, this specific game had been rumored for a very long time, and then it kind of got leaked before E3. And finally unveiled at E3. It's kind of the game itself is it's a mix of, if you're familiar with XCOM, it's kind of a turn-based strategy combat RPG. You know, Mario themselves has been in quite a few different RPGs, from the Super Mario series to Paper Mario, the Mario and Luigi games on the Game Boy Advance and the DS and 3DS, but never really in a strategy RPG, and this is kind of a really interesting crossover, but I'm not really here to get into the specifics of the games themselves. There's a ton of reviews out on there. It's getting very good reviews. I want to actually focus on the figures and what comes in the collector's edition themselves. Now, the figures, each of the figures here specifically retails for $40 each. And the collector's edition was $100. The core game itself by itself was $60. So basically, for the extra $40 you're getting in the collector's edition, you're getting the Mario Rabbid figure that is in the collector's edition, as well as some other physical stuff, as well as a physical copy of the Mario Rabbids game. You can actually also buy the Mario figure specifically in here by himself for $40 as well as the individual releases on the other characters. But these were the four main characters. There was Yoshi Rabbid, Peach Rabbid, Luigi Rabbid, and Mario Rabbid. But I'm kind of getting a little long-winded here. Let's just get into the unboxing a little bit now. I'm going to just kind of move my way through the characters. Let me just set these on the floor temporarily so I can focus on each character for you here real quick. We'll start with Yoshi Rabbid. He's kind of, I guess you could kind of be the really silly over-the-top character. Just looking at the design, this is the box he kind of comes in real quick. It's a pretty neat. I do like the packaging, I got to admit, for licensed product. Ubi Collectibles, I know Ubisoft's kind of got their own online store. These I purchased from GameStop where I work, so I got my discount on top off the $40. So it wasn't quite as expensive for me, but $40 for these figures is a little pricey, I will admit. But let me just kind of read you the back description here real quick. Rabbid Yoshi is a crazy, out-of-control fighter. Rules don't apply to him, and he prefers shooting before thinking, which usually ends in destruction. Some say he can sometimes behave quietly, but only when he is smiling foolishly at his team after shooting crazily at the enemy. His infatuation with heavy weapons and explosions can change the tide of a battle in an instant. So I guess he's kind of your crazy, over-the-top combat, maybe tank character a little bit. As you can see by his look, he's pretty goofy. So I broke the seal on these just for the sake of expediting the unboxing a little bit. But pretty standard packaging for something like this. Pretty simple cardboard box with a clamshell to protect the figure itself. And each of these figures should be around 6 inches. I know there were smaller characters. There are smaller figures than these 6-inch ones you could also buy, but we didn't get those at work. And there's actually plastic tape that is keeping these enclosed. So if you'll excuse me, I just have to grab my my box cutter here real quick, and so I can cut open the tape here so I can actually get in these. So these unboxings are always never go smoothly, unfortunately, and that's just the downside when you kind of have to do these off the cuff like I usually do. So there's always a few little snafus, but I digress. Let me get Yoshi Rabbit out of here real quick. Come on. Okay. Jeez, did I not get that tape? Jeez Louise. I apologize for this, guys. I guess I didn't get all the tape. There we go. So let me pull him out of here. I will keep the knife because I'm obviously going to need that for the other Bop characters. So get this out of the way. So as you can see, it's got some pretty decent weight. And actually it looks like they can come off the base. It looks like, yep, they got a pretty standard peg. You got a hole where you put them on the base. So they are definitely freestanding as well as having the base, which is nice. But yep, pretty crazy silly, pretty decent paint job, not too bad for the most part. But yeah, I do like the look. He's got some nice weight to him. Definitely, and they do freestand too, but they also come with the base, which is pretty nice. Well, Castor wants to get in on the unboxing. Come on, little dude, get down. So, that is Rabbid Yoshi. Let us move on to Peach. Now, she's probably, of this group, if you've seen any of the advertising for this, she's probably the more well-known just because of her selfie-taking promotional photos she's been in, which is definitely a play on smartphone culture and everything in general, which I don't find surprising at all. She's you know, when the Rabbids are, I guess they're generally implied as all guys, but you know they definitely do the gender bending thing sometimes, and which is always kind of silly. But I thought she was pretty silly, if you ask me. But I'm okay with that. There's nothing wrong with having a little humor in your game. As you can tell, I'm struggling to come up with words to talk about while I open these up. I'm never really good at the small talk with these kinds of videos, so don't mind me, guys. I more just want to show you what these look like. So again, pretty silly, goofy looking, decent paint job again, freestanding. She probably is going to need her base because I don't think she stands on her own. So she is definitely a figure that will need to have her base more than likely just because of the hair. And this is what she looks like. Again, decent paint job, pretty goofy, silly Rabbid to say the least. So that is Peach Rabbid. And let's get into Luigi Rabbid. Let me read you the description for him real quick. Rabbid Luigi is the most ingenuous of the Rabbid heroes. Easily scared, he will always avoid conflict given the choice. Despite this, he has very strong powers, even if he doesn't really understand how to use them. He might not seem very menacing at first, but his great defensive and elemental skills make him the wizard every team needs. So I guess he is your magic character in this kind of a game. I guess I should go read Peach's description real quick while we've got a minute, because I didn't do that with her. Easily bored and sassy, Rabbid Peach is a fighter princess. She is convinced that she is the most beautiful and fearsome hero on the battlefield, and she never misses an occasion to take a selfie. Even in combat, even in the most dire of situations, this very combative hero is also the proficient healer in combat while always keeping an eye on her beloved Mario. So she's your white mage in the game, white mage in the game. And I guess you could say Luigi Rabbid is your black mage, if we're kind of going by basic RPG tropes. So there is Luigi Rabbid. Again, let me just get tape cut through here real quick. While I'm opening this, if you guys have played the game, by all means, it's been out for about a week, you know, by all means, let me know your thoughts on the game, because I actually haven't had a chance to play it myself yet, because I've kept these in their packaging for the last handful of days, because I only picked these up late last week. So yeah, by all means, let me know what you think of the game itself in the comments below. So here's Luigi, Rabbid, kind of with his mystical. I'm not exactly sure what that is. I haven't played the game yet. He will freestand, it seems, but he's got a bit of a weight to him towards the left here, so he may not stand completely straight. So yeah, probably a good idea to keep these guys on the bases. And again, pretty good paint job. I definitely like the look of him. Probably just because of the, I don't know, it's the kind of long, overly sized shirt he's wearing. It's probably because it's a mage's cloak, you know, but I'm always kind of a big fan of Luigi myself. So this is probably my favorite looking of all the characters in the game. And now we will do the actual unboxing of the collector's edition proper, the coup de grace, if you have it. So this is the packaging that the collector's edition came in. This is a GameStop exclusive. You could not get this at any other retailer. Even if you could get the Mario figure separately, this specific package you could only get at GameStop, and it was a pretty limited run. I actually don't believe they're available for order online anymore. If you could still get it from GameStop, it was $100. I don't know if they're going for much more on eBay if they've been sold out online for a while. But this is the package, just pretty general art of Mario from the game. Here's the back of the box. You get the 6-inch figure Mario, you get the limited edition game, the official soundtrack, and 12 exclusive trading cards. So that's basically what you're getting. So basically for the $100, say if you were buying the $60 game and the $40 figure, on top of that, they're throwing in a soundtrack and some collector's cards, which is kind of nice. It's always nice to get at least a few extra goodies in the box if you're going to spend extra money on a collector's edition. And this one actually kind of opens from there's a little sliding sleeve here. Let me set this off to the side. And this probably just has the same box art and everything. It's just got Peach on the back. So let me open this bad boy up here. So on the top, when you open it up, there is the Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle game. That's a standard retail copy, pretty typical stuff. This is the soundtrack CD. Nothing overly special, cardboard sleeve, pretty typical soundtrack sleeve. These are the cards that they come with. I will actually open these up real quick just so you guys can see what cards you get in this package. And again, I'm struggling, unfortunately. Again, guys, I really apologize for this. These never go smoothly, so just kind of bear with me. And I don't want to tear the cards while I'm opening them, just because I'm sure they're kind of neat. So these are the cards. So you got Luigi with his Luigi's Mansion vacuum style gun. I guess it just kind of gives you some basic stats of what he's capable in the game. You've got Mario with his gun and his stats. You got Peach with her gun and all her abilities and stats. And here is Rabbid Luigi, you know, everything he can do. You got Rabbid Mario and his stats. You got Rabbid Peach and her stuff. We've got Rabbid Yoshi, being the tank that he is, and you got actual proper Yoshi and his stats. And then it looks like Bowser Jr., you got a couple of foils here of Bowser Jr. And what his abilities are. I don't know if you actually get to play as him in the game. He must be a boss character. We've got Parabid Plant, so I guess the Piranha Plant, a PD Piranha, I guess, in Rabbid form, and what he does. And then Rabbid Kong, which you've probably also seen in the trailer. So I guess these are your boss characters and some of their abilities. So those are the cards that come with the Collector's Edition, if anyone was curious. Now let me go ahead and take out Mario here real quick. So the rest of this packaging is pretty much like the other packaging from the other collector's figures here. So these are going to have the same tape, so I'm not really finding this surprising at all. I'm sure they were probably mass producing this stuff, so they weren't going to go like with super special packaging if they didn't have to. So yeah, this I'm definitely looking forward to trying the game. I've heard very good things about it, and I just haven't had a chance to sit down and play it, just because with the last week at work, my boss has been out of the shop, so I've been running the show. I haven't had a lot of time outside of work to game much. So here we go. This is Rabbids Mario, pretty much like the other 6-inch figures. He comes with a base. He is not freestanding, at least very easily, so he's got some weight probably because of the gun. So I will say at least, these are definitely not action figures. They are definitely just the heft and the paint job and everything. These are definitely figures that need to be put on a shelf somewhere or left in the box, either way. So that's pretty much it, guys. This is the line of figures, 6-inch collectible figurines that came out with Mario Rabbids. Pretty standard fare. Like I said before, excuse me. Each of the figures retails for $40 each. The collector's edition was $100. If you can still find that for retail. Otherwise, like I said before, guys, in the comments, by all means, feel free to let me know what you think of this and what you think of the game proper. And as always, you guys, take it easy. I'll see you next time.